G'day guys, Jakob here from All Purpose Coatings. I'm in another Tech Talk. Today we're going to be looking at a case study. We're going to be looking at packing sheds, but one packing shed in particular. We will be looking at Jackwitz Farm and the unique challenges that the installers undertaking the project faced. Today's aim is to get you as an installer geared up, armed with knowledge and ready to tackle the next packing shed that comes your way, whether you've got one in the pipeline already or you've been propositioned to quote one by a customer. Let's get into it. All right guys, so you've got a packing shed coming up. What is a packing shed? Now there are a couple of different types of packing shed, from dry store products like hay to climate controlled massive operations. Right? When it comes to agricultural packing sheds, they set their own challenges. The Jackwitz Farm has 8 farms running across Queensland that are in operation all year round. So we're talking mud, we're talking water, pallet traffic, forklift traffic. These floors cop a beating. Jackwitz Farm is in a unique situation where the concrete itself is super old already. It has never been previously sealed or coated. There is nothing protecting this concrete. It is totally at the mercy of the farm. With this much mud, contamination, water, traffic, it presents a really diverse array of challenges. You've got concrete degradation from the moisture and the traffic. You've got moisture entrapment, which ceases your coatings. So we're going to take a bit of a look at how to overcome these challenges and take a look at how Ezyspray, the installers that undertook the project, overcame these challenges as well. We've already discussed a little bit about the packing sheds and what makes agricultural packing sheds exclusively so much different, but I really want to outline here what was different about Jackwitz. The Jackwitz Farm packing shed was sat on 25-year-old concrete that is in constant contact with moisture. Being an agricultural shed means everything is washed down before the produce is packed. That constant contact with moisture means your coatings are already facing a challenge. Water and epoxy do not mix, they are not friends. The floor itself, like I said, 25-year-old concrete, it's already copped a beating for 25 years, but even after the initial grind, there were patches of concrete missing. There were divots, holes, voids that needed to be filled and patched. This slab had gone through 25 years of getting smashed, day in, day out, by forklifts, pallets, everything that you'd normally find in a commercial agriculture environment. Beyond the shed itself, Ezyspray came from Bundaberg and headed out west for this job. Around this time of year, it was closer to the middle of the year, so temperatures were dropping. You've got an area that is about this size, about 400 squares, and this is one of 2 sheds at the middle of nowhere, out west. It's the middle of the year, temperatures get cold, really cold. Some days they were there, it was -4 the night before. As we know, epoxy and heat are friends. More heat, your epoxy goes off faster. So with such low temperatures, you're battling not only moisture inhibiting your epoxy curing, but the atmosphere itself inhibiting your epoxy curing. Being so far inland and in such contact with moisture, battling such age of the slab, made it a constant chore on site. Not only was the slab ground and patched from inside, but it was also screeded. The prep work before the actual coating went down was extensive. And not only was the prep heavy duty, but once it was all said and done, a matrix system was installed to give the floor slip resistance and a high build durable coating across the entire surface. Not only this, there was also a cold room on site for the fresh produce. That needed to be matrixed, coved and coated up the wall as well. The entire project was extensive. Hence today's video, to give you guys an understanding of the products they use to overcome these challenges. Starting off with our moisture and metal tolerant hardener. This stuff is a godsend. If you've seen me in a top tips, moisture tolerant, I recommend everyone keep at least a bottle of this stuff in the back of your ute, your van, your truck, whatever. It will save you out on site. Moisture tolerant hardener is specifically designed for use in substrates where the moisture level is above 4%. If you've got a damp substrate, anything moisture affected, anywhere you think moisture might already be coming through and may become an issue in the curing process, moisture tolerant hardener is perfect. And it's what the team here at All Purpose Coatings recommended for the screed and the prime coats in this project. Not only does it help the product go off a little bit quicker, but it also gives you that protection against inhibited moisture in the surface that will inhibit the curing of your epoxy. Up next, number 2, winter hardener. Coming into this end of the year, sort of early May, late May here, we're really starting to feel it in Queensland with the cold front hitting. You guys down in New South Wales and Melbourne are probably already feeling it. Like I said earlier, epoxy and cold do not mix, they are not friends. Winter hardener is specifically designed to give you similar curing times in those winter conditions than a standard hardener would in summer. So more reliable 12 to 24 hour tack free times, more reliable tacking of the epoxy before your dew point hits and moisture falls on it. It is specifically designed for these conditions like out west, where the temperature has dropped significantly and the epoxy struggles with curing. If you'd like to know more about winter hardener specifically and how you can straight swap it around in your kit coming into this colder time of year, we have a great new winter hardener video. Go check that one out. All right guys, quick summary time. Jackwitz Farm, the challenges they faced, we're looking at moisture impregnated concrete, concrete in constant contact with moisture, concrete under great wear and tear from forklift and pallet traffic, concrete that's already super duper old at 25 years old, and we're looking at battling some pretty extreme temperatures for up here in Queensland. We've gone through the fixes for these, the products to cover, our moisture tolerant hardener for that moisture affected surface, winter hardener for those colder temps, which is uncharacteristic for up here. Now that you're armed with all of that knowledge, how do we put it together? What are some things that you, as an installer, need to keep in mind for your next packing shed project? So, beyond just concrete condition and the products to use, temperatures. Temperatures mean a lot more than just how fast or slow your epoxy goes off. The team at Ezyspray battled freezing epoxy. It was so cold that the epoxy had lumped together and would not pour out of the drums. So maybe you need to consider a climate-controlled room to keep your products in rather than having the pallets sit out ready for the use the next day. Not only that, but it's so cold in the air that your epoxy is freezing. What about the concrete? As we know, concrete, your substrate, normally sits a number of degrees lower or higher depending on the ambient temperature and the time of year. This concrete, with the moisture still in it, was even colder. You're looking at it sucking all of the heat out of the epoxy and stopping the curing dead even after the ambient temperature had risen again. Matt has done a great video on surface temps. If you want to check that out, click here, check the description, follow that one. Beyond the job itself, you as an installer, the condition of the slab, all the products you're using, what about the customer? This shed had to be totally inactive for 2 weeks while the moisture came up and out of the concrete, while the surface was prepped and ready to go for the coating. Not only that, but after and during the coating, the shed was inoperable, adding another 2 weeks on. So for Ezyspray's customer at Jackwitz Farm, they had a shed out of commission for 4 whole weeks. So not only do you need to understand your own installation timelines, but the turnaround times for your customer as well for full transparency in your quoting process and of course handover of the project. It's no good to you if the customer jumps up at the fact that, oh, I can't use this for 3 weeks afterwards. You're not going to get the job. And beyond, again, the job, yourself as an installer, your customer, what about your customer's employer or your customer's customer? Requirements differ between domestic distribution and commercial distribution. For this instance specifically, Jackwitz Farm had their client Woolworths coming in just 5 weeks. What are their requirements of Jackwitz as a packing shed for Woolworths? What kind of floor do they need? Does it need to be slip resistant? Does it need to be chemical resistant? What are the standards that Jackwitz's client is facing that you as an installer have to act upon? It all comes back to being the industry expert on site and offering the most accurate, up-to-date information in your quoting process possible. But, of course, where do you get that? You're armed with knowledge, how do you put it into practice? All-purpose coatings. It is literally what we are here for, to get you armed with as much knowledge, as much sales prowess, as much industry information as possible to make these jobs run smoothly for you. Ezyspray worked closely in conjunction with not only the team here in our technical department, but also the crew in our commercial development team to get this project underway. We handled the takeoffs, the specifications, the industry standards that the shed had to adhere to, and handed it all over for Ezyspray to install. They had never encountered a project like this, they'd never encountered conditions like this, but it's what we are here for, to support you as not only an installer, but a business owner in your next commercial project, domestic project, installation endeavor. The team here is always happy to help, whether it is on a domestic quote. Maybe you are quoting your next packing shed. Maybe you're quoting your first one. Maybe you're just entering the industry and you need to absorb as much as you can so that you are armed for your next project. If that is the case, great, come say good day. It's what we're here for, to help you roll better floors. So if you do have any questions about anything we've discussed today, the products that we've discussed, the project itself, please reach out, shoot us an email, give us a call. The team are always happy to have a chat, and we'll see you in the next Tech Talk.